Hell yeah. You're watching the Daily Dusty. Let's fucking do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your kitty guitars ready! Woo! Hey, what the fuck is up, everybody? Happy Hump Day! Did another show today. Don't know if there'll be one tomorrow, but there's one today, and that's what the fuck counts. Don't play this out, Dusty. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys did something fun last night. Tell you what I did. Made some more shorts using these AI programs to make these shorts. Made 5 new shorts. I did okay. Got to see maybe 3,000 times. Not too bad. It's a lot quicker using the AI program. So still going to try it. Still working it all out. And end of the show, I'm going to read all of the Patreon, not the PayPals. I got new PayPals. Let's see, here we go. Super chats. Yeah, boom! My new QR code goes to my PayPal, and some people actually checked it out last night. They tried it out if you aim your phone at it, and the picture taken section is open. It'll pop up a link, and you click it, and it goes to my PayPal. Some people PayPal me last night, and so I'm going to read all your PayPals at the end of the show with a super chat, so I appreciate you guys PayPaling me. And you guys, if you like the show, please consider PayPaling me, or alternatively, back here, wrong button. Nope. Yes. Back here, there is a $ by the chat, and you click on it, and then you write words. There it is. Boom. Write words. Slide this over. How much you want to donate? Red is 50 or 500, even better. But anyway, read all your words at the end of the show. Super chats. And all right, let's go ahead and kick the show off, folks. I have to admit, I am not 100% recovered yet from my top story I'm going to tell you guys about. I'm going to start the show with some story time with Uncle Dusty. Story time with Uncle Dusty. And folks, those of you who've watched this show for a long time know that I love drugs. Fuck yeah! Not the bad drugs, only the good drugs. And yes, there's a difference. Those people who are like, drugs are bad, just say nope to dope. Hey, full of fucking shit, okay? Even they know that there are certain drugs that are bad and certain drugs that are not bad. Like, nicotine is a drug. Some people think that's a bad drug. Some people doesn't. That's a drug. We're not supposed to agree with that or not. You can buy that at fucking Walmart. Alcohol is a drug. Most people that think all drugs are bad have no problem having a beer every once in a while. Stuff like caffeine. Caffeine's a fucking drug. I take 1 caffeine pill before every fucking show to hype me up and make me more energized and also focused. Works amazing. So it just depends on what drug you're taking. Not all drugs are bad, in my opinion. Some drugs are actually quite amazing, but I don't do any of the bad drugs. So what are the bad drugs? Don't smoke crack. Don't smoke meth. Don't do meth. Don't take anything in pill form, basically. Don't take any kind of opioids. No opioids. Bad, bad. Don't shoot anything into your bloodstream. No heroin, no fentanyl, none of that fucking bullshit. Don't do it. Good drugs, basically the psychedelics. Psychedelics are good. Acid, mushrooms, ketamine, if you're into that. Little bit of nitrous every once in a while. I like alcohol. I like nicotine. And marijuana especially is my favorite. Marijuana. That's mostly what I do. So I ain't done no marijuana in a long fucking time. It's been like 6 months, and it's just weed, y'all. If you ain't got it, it's fine. I do like to smoke it. I've missed it, but I don't go buy weed. The fact that weed is illegal is actually makes it so dangerous. The drug itself is not dangerous at all, but last time I went and bought it, I got fucking mugged. You guys know that story, so I haven't bought it in a long time. And so occasionally people send it to me, which is pretty fucking cool. But it's been a while. Usually they send me these little cartridges, and I put them in my little pen, and I smoke them down, and it's pretty cool. But been 6 months, somebody sent me any. And so last show, I was like, hey, weed. Somebody needed to send me some fucking weed because I had no weed, y'all. I missed my weed, y'all. And then I got this message, this cryptic message on the Twitter. Boom. So I'm not going to show you who has sent it. I blocked their name out. But it says, they basically said, hey, I'm a big fan, been a big fan for a long time. Love your show, and I'm sending you something in the mail. How do I find your address? And I was like, every show I do in the comment section is my P.O. box, the address to my P.O. box. You can send me anything you want to my P.O. box. And then they said, cool, little something headed your way. And I'm thinking, fuck yeah, I gotta get me some weed. I miss weed, y'all. And I said, hell yeah, you made my day. Oh, I can't tell you the name. I missed. You didn't see that. You made my name. You who said this. Thank you. And so every day I was going and checking my P.O. box, thinking I was going to have me some weed. I was so excited for my fucking weed. Went yesterday. Nothing. Dang in the message, he says, let me know when you get it. It will blow your mind. I know it did for me. Just be careful. You only need a little. I think I sent 200 hits, and I'm like, 200 hits? This dude sent me a ton of fucking weed. He must be a newbie. You don't talk about weed with hits. Usually, I guess, hits off a bong or something, but usually not that. That's not the way you talk about it. But super cool. So much weed. I was looking forward to it. So, yeah, I know it's fucking illegal. It's fine. It's fine. It's mainly a slap on the wrist. If you get a little cartridge, a slap on the wrist. Ain't no big deal. And also, I'm a renegade, baby. I'm an outlaw. So, anyway, today I went and checked, and I didn't get a package or anything. I just had this little fucking letter in my goddamn box, and I was like, oh shit, well, there ain't no fucking weed in this fucking letter. This fucking sucks. So I went and opened it up, and I'll show you guys what it had in it. First off, it's a folded up piece of paper. It says on the front of it, love you, Dusty. Hey, I love you back. It's backwards because my camera's backwards, but it's right side for me. I'm not that on drugs. Opened it up. Inside was a little, first off was this piece of paper that's folded up. We'll get there in a minute. And then a note. Hey, Dusty, this is just a small amount for you to try out. It's called 5C. It's South Korean. Oh, boy. If you try it, for real, only smoke like half a hit at first or less, LOL. If you like it, I'll send more. It's not for constant use, just a hit or two at night. And I don't know if you guys have ever done drugs before, but like especially if you do a lot of psychedelics. I'm not saying any of this is true, but this is how it makes you feel. Makes you feel like your brain is not actually the one creating the information inside of it. Makes you feel like it's radio almost. That you're almost picking up signals that are coming in from outside of you. And instead of creating that information in your brain, the brain is just decoding that information and then feeding that information to you in a way that you can understand it. Chemicals basically are just shapes. And inside your brain, there are receptors, and sometimes they can find a shape that just fits perfectly into those receptors, and it just feels like you're turning channels of the radio on that you usually don't get. You're tuning into the universe in ways that you're usually not able to tune into the universe. I feel like this sometimes even when I'm not on drugs. Sometimes if I have a show and I'm incredibly fucking in the zone and I don't fuck about words at all, and I'm just rapid fire off the top of my head so quick and fast, it almost feels like I'm channeling. Like it's not even coming from me, it's coming from outside, and I'm just opening my mouth and it's just pouring out of me. So it's a feeling you get a lot of times when you're on drugs. Once again, I'm not saying it's true or not, but that's the way you feel. So anyway, it says right on the front of this little thing, okay, cut this into small strips. Can you see that? And it's like a little line, like an outline. It says this size, open. So I open it up, boom. And inside, this thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? What is this? It's a piece of paper. Motherfucker sending me a piece of paper. What the fuck good is this gonna do to me, this little fucking piece of shit? Folks. So I was like, so I'm paying attention to the drawing. I don't want to do too much because I'm very safe. First thing I did, obviously, and this is what you do when you're doing any drug for the first time, you go research it. So I was like, I never heard of this drug before. What the fuck does it do? So I immediately went to AI, and I asked AI, I'll show you. AI, what the fuck is this? And it says, SE, full name is 5C MDA, not to be confused with MDNA, which is like Molly and shit. 5C MDA. It's basically a cannabinoid, a type of cannabinoid. And I'm like, oh, it's just a type of weed, okay? That's all it fucking is, y'all. No problem. I did so much wax in my life. I've smoked so much weed. No biggie whatsoever. It ain't gonna be no fucking problem. I read all about it. I read the dangers of it. This is possible side effects, what it is. And basically, this is a brand new drug they created in South Korea in the labs 2 years ago. It's like 2 years old. This is a brand new drug. I never even fucking heard of it. It just hit the scene. So I was like, hey, no big deal. Maybe don't use AI. Why not? Hush up. I got this. I got it. Don't worry about it. And anyway, So I also Googled it, if you want to see. I didn't just AI it. I also Googled it. But how is she supposed to find out shit? AI is a great way. Here's the shape of the drug I'm doing. And I read all about it on Google, both ways. So anyway, I try to follow the guide. It said cut, just a little bitty piece. And of course, the guide is not very clear. I mean, does it mean cut this whole strip across that little thing, or just the little bitty line you're supposed to cut out? So instead, I just decided to do a tiny bit. You guys see just this edge I cut off. Just that edge. That's all I fucking did. Just that tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. And I was like, I'm just going to do this speck just to start off with and just see if it fucking does anything. So I took this little speck of piece of paper and I put it in my little weed pipe here. Put it right there. It was actually hard to do. Put it on the side. And then I hit it thinking, man, this ain't going to do fucking shit. What is this little tiny piece of paper going to fucking do? Next thing you know, man, I'm communion with the consciousness of the universe. It was one of the most profound and incredible experiences I've ever gone through. Luckily, I'm an experienced psychonaut, which means I've had a lot of experience with like acid, mushrooms, psychedelics. And the one thing you have to do if you do like these type of drugs is you have to have the ability to keep yourself calm. Because 1 second, you could be experiencing the same thing you experienced your entire life, the same normal, everyday 5 senses that you normally experience. And the next thing you know, boom, something you've never experienced has come upon you. And it can freak you out, absolutely. It can make you paranoid. It can make you crazy. It can make you depressed. It can fucking scare the shit out of you. But luckily, I've been through this enough where I know, okay, this definitely works. That's my first thought. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything, but everything got wavy. I definitely fucking felt it. And so I was like, okay, well, just stay calm. Just stay calm. I'm not sure if I like this experience yet. I don't like it right off the bat because it's so different immediately, and I wasn't expecting that. Came on me so quickly. And I was scared at first, but I calmed myself down. Calm down. You'll be fine. If you don't enjoy this experience, it will go away. They always fucking do. All these experiences, all these drug experiences are just temporary. Just stay calm. Just breathe through it. And so then I sat there, laid in my bed, and I just breathed, calmed down. It would be sort of like a DMT trip, but most of the drugs I do, like, you're supposed to feel shit, but I barely even feel anything, if anything at all. And this time, I was really fucking feeling it. So I just calmed myself. The next thing you know, folks, I'm going to describe exactly what happened because it's wild. So like I said, I wasn't seeing things, and I wasn't talking out loud. All of this was happening inside of my brain, and I knew it was happening inside my brain, and I was just laying back on my bed, and I was just drinking it in. But I felt like I was on a show, like this show, basically. But the entire consciousness, the global consciousness, which means the consciousness of every being in the universe that exists, was all blended together, and they were all watching me at the same time. And I was trying to explain my thoughts about death and what I think this experience might be. And I was trying to do the best job I could. Once again, it was all in my mind, but I could feel these consciousness listening to me, listening to my words, drinking in what I was saying and the argument I was trying to make. And I was explaining, hey, like, this all really seems like a simulation to me. This all seems like a game to me, and I don't know if it is or not. I just may be incredibly afraid of death. And so that's a comforting thought. But it definitely feels like it is. And there are signs that it might be. Doing drugs like this definitely feels like it is. But one of the funny things that happened in the middle of it was Baby Yoda came over, and she's got her own unique personality, as all cats do. She doesn't like you just to pet her or pick her up or pet her. She has to have it on her terms. And her terms is, I have this blanket over me usually, and she likes to get it right up under the blanket and just poke her head out of the blanket and stare up at me and have me pet her head. And she just purrs and purrs and purrs and looks up at me with the purest look of love you can possibly imagine. And she was doing that. She was just purring, purring. And I was looking down at her, and it was almost like I was sharing this experience with the global consciousness that was watching me. And I was explaining to them, like, this is a good example. Like, this is like if I was in a video game and I wanted to, like, have an object in my video game to make me happy, make me experience joy. I would pick something just like this, a cat. who is so happy to be here in my presence, who just wants to snuggle up to me and is just so thrilled and I can pet. And look at that happy, beautiful face. And I was staring at her happy, beautiful face, and it was like my eyes were a camera that was showing this to the entire global consciousness. And I was explaining, hey, maybe even if life is not a simulation, and what I hope this is just like a game, and this is just like level 1. When you die, you get to move on to the next level. It's not the end of the experience. And I was trying to convince them, poorly, that maybe if we all focus our global consciousness together, that we could make this a reality. Maybe we don't have to be dependent on how the universe is. Maybe we can make up the rules ourselves, and maybe we all focus all of our attention, all of our intention towards it. Maybe we can make it a reality that we could actually defeat death itself. And at the same time, you're trying not to give in to the astonishment of what's happening to you. So it's very hard to form coherent thoughts as this is happening, because you're like, holy shit, man. This is like nothing I've never gotten experience. What the fuck's going on? And so at the same time, you're trying to roll with it. And you're trying to play along with what's happening. But it's very difficult to concentrate under that scenario. And so that went on for about, I would say, 30 minutes, where I was having this conversation, this one-sided conversation where I was talking to the global consciousness. And then it started wearing down slowly after 30 minutes. And after an hour, it was pretty much completely gone, and I was back to normal. And I can still feel a little bit of trail end of it, but for the most part, it just disappeared. And I still haven't processed it enough to see if I really, really enjoyed it. How much I would want to do that again, I don't know. Next time I would definitely take less and try it out again. But really interesting experience. And like I say, that drug absolutely works. So 5C, all the rage from South Korea. If you guys get a chance to try it, you'll be fine. Be calm. And all right, that is my story time with Uncle Dusty. Good one tonight. Good one tonight. And all right, let's go ahead and kick the show off, folks. Got some, as usual, depressing shit that's happened. Poor trans people, once again, getting blamed for fucking everything. So let's go ahead. I don't know if you guys noticed, if you guys got the reference to the opening intro.
Hell yeah. You're watching the Daily Dusty. Let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking do it. It's Mask, right? It's Mask. And that's what the guy who looks like who committed these horrible crimes. Another week, another school shooting, another bunch of children murdered. This time it's, well, I'll show you the thumbnail I made for this show. INCEL shooter. So the headline that everybody's putting around, like this is my entire front page of Twitter, is nothing but right-wingers celebrating. This is like right-winger Christmas. It's like bigot New Year's. They're so happy that supposedly a trans person committed a school shooting, which justifies all their bigotry. Since they spend so much of their time shitting on trans people already, spreading transphobia, spreading fear of trans people, there's really not a lot of scary things that trans people have done. So it makes them look kind of stupid, even though it works incredibly. It melts people's brains just saying the word trans over and over and over again. But when something actually happens like this and a trans person commits the crime, they're giddy, folks. And they're all about, I told you, evil trans people. They're the scariest people on earth. So that's what's basically been happening. The guy who committed this crime, I'll show you. Well, first off, let's talk about the crime. Mass shooting reported at Minneapolis Catholic school. This guy, a 23-year-old dude, went to this Catholic school and killed 2 children, and then he murdered himself. I think he injured 17 others. Just another typical week in America. Gun crime, mass shootings. Here's 2 children dead, 17 kids and adults wounded. Here's the mayor talking about what happened.
These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
Yep.
These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
But this country doesn't actually care about our children. We just say thoughts and prayers, and we're never going to care. We care about the guns. That's our real priority. And so we just pretend, we fake it. They say the same thing every goddamn time, and it's usually always politicized. And this time it's politicized because it appears the shooter was this person, Robin Westman, who used to go by the name Robert Westman, who back in 2020, 5 years ago, changed his name from Robert Westman to Robin Westman. Clearly was transitioning. On this document says that they identify as a girl now, and they were transitioning, and the pictures make it very clear that they were trying to look like a girl. They changed their appearance, started wearing ponytails and shit in their hair. I'll show you some videos. Well, that's not it. Let's see, where is it? Gumman Robert Westman. There's so much of this, folks. Oh, here it is. So this is a video from 4 or 5 years ago, and you can tell this person who has just changed their name is trying to transition. They're using a more feminine voice, and they're presenting themselves more feminine.
Hey y'all, today I'm going to be reading the Amana electric dryer user manual.
So this is the video, the picture all over my social media. Everybody's like, see, trans people are killing everybody, trans. All these hormones make you fucking crazy. We have to ban trans people. To show you all these messages. It's horrible. They're scapegoating the trans people for this. However, I think a very good argument could be made that this person was not trans. Now, the whole trans issue is very complicated. So some people think once you're trans, you're always trans. But that's not how it is. You can transition and you can detransition just like you transitioned. It's a very common thing to do. And not most of the people that are trans, but some people who are trans they transition because they're going through a stage in their life. A lot of them are unhappy, very, very unhappy, right? They don't feel like they are the person that they're supposed to be. They're depressed all the time. And they don't know what that is. They're trying to find themselves, who they are. And so some of them are like, hey, maybe I'm trans. Maybe I should try this. And maybe this is who I am. Some of them become incels. Some of them join ska bands, you know. Some of them become goths. Lots of different paths they take. But a lot of times, some of these kids are like, okay, maybe I'm trans. Maybe that's why I don't feel like who I am. And so then they try to transition, especially gay kids, which this kid was clearly gay. He's clearly a queer guy. And they transition and realize, okay, well, that's not me. I didn't find myself there. And so they transition back. And it's completely fine to transition. And it's completely fine to detransition. Both those things are completely normal things that happen. And it's okay to be whoever the fuck you want to be. It's okay to represent yourself as whoever you want to be. Whoever you feel comfortable with. Because you only get one life. You want to be as happy as you can possibly be. And whatever makes you feel the most like you. Whatever makes you feel as comfortable in your skin as you possibly can be. That's what you should fucking do. And that's why those of us that support trans people, that's why we support them, because it's so easy to be kind. They're not hurting me being trans. It's not hurting me to call somebody who wants to be called by feminine pronouns. It ain't hurting me a fucking bit. And if it's helping them at all, it's very, very easy to do. It's so easy to be a decent person. So it doesn't even matter if this person is trans or not, because how many times do mass shootings like this happen? And it's almost always straight white males. All these right-wing accounts aren't saying, oh my God, just proves that being a straight white male makes you insane. We have an epidemic of white males killing people. We need to have a mental health conversation about white males. They never do that, right? It's a double standard, 100%. It's just a talking point to justify their bigotry. I know that. But still, there is a very good argument I think that can be made that this person isn't even trans. They were just attempting to be trans, and then they've detransed, and now they're back as just a gay man. For one, in their manifesto, they drew this picture of themselves, and this picture of themselves is not in feminine clothes. It's not female clothes, not a dress. It's male clothes. This is clearly how they're representing themselves right now. Secondly, the picture that is more recent of this person is very clear that they are now representing themselves as a man. Let's see if I can fucking find it. Thought I had it. There it is. This picture. Got facial hair now. Not wearing fake nails like they used to. No ponytails, no earrings, no makeup. Seems like they have decided to step away from that transition and start presenting as a male again. Even the New York Post is admitting this is true, folks. The New York Post is a right-wing rag. But even according to them, Westman applied to change his birth name from Robert to Robin in Dakota County, Minnesota, when he was 17 years old, according to court documents. The name change was granted in 2020, so this is a long time ago. The petition added that Westman identified as female and wants her name to reflect that identification, but 5 years later, he seems to have backed away from that identity. He detransitioned. I don't want to dress girly all the time, but I guess sometimes I really like it. I know I'm not a woman, so knows that he's not a woman, a trans woman, but I definitely don't feel like a man, so it's a gay kid, basically. Perhaps non-binary, but I would say it's just a gay kid who's detransitioned, which is a take you're not going to get on any of these right-wingers. Once again, not that it matters, but I think an argument could be made for that. He does look like the mask. I know, right? I knew somebody would get that reference. Anyway, more clues on the fact that I believe that he probably detransitioned and has decided to go back to being a male is his manifesto. He put out a couple of manifesto videos, and the dude is just retarded. He's just like every retarded incel on 4chan that you come across. And like I said, when people are going through stages of their life and trying to find themselves, sometimes they go through trans stages, and then a lot of times they go through incel stages. They get on 4chan and they identify with those people and they identify with being an edgelord. That's where they get their personality from. They start worshiping school shooters and they just become retards. And case in point, first off, check out the voice he's using. No longer using the feminine voice whatsoever. And he's just like every other retarded incel on the internet. Now, does that sound like someone who was trying to represent themselves as trans? It doesn't to me. Let's skip over to 4 minutes and 30 seconds where they're showing off all their weapons. And this is the real problem, folks. That these obvious crazy people can have just an arsenal, a crazy arsenal. So this cringy loser wrote all these Gen Z words that he saw on 4chan that he think makes it look cool all over his weapons and his gun stocks.
Skibbity Riz. Scum gang.
Sounds like any dude, right? Any young dude. So just a fucking moron. That's literally what it is. Just a 4chan retard. Your typical everyday incel, which is the one that commit the vast majority of these school shootings. Unfortunately, once trans, always trans in the mind of bigots, in the mind of haters, in the mind of trying to use any situation to spread their hatred, bigotry, transphobia, get clicks. And that's what we're really seeing in this situation, where all of social media basically has gotten together, the right-wingers especially, and spread that this person is trans and use this to attack all trans people and try to make it even harder for them to have any rights whatsoever. And I do fear things will get bad. They did put out a manifesto. The manifesto didn't say anything about transness. It basically talked about apologizing to their family and how they're so depressed. They want to make the world suffer like they suffer. Just real fucking creepy shit. They actually put out this video, which is a book of cryptic symbols and shit. They showed it page by page and Grok translated it. And basically, the whole thing, every line is, I'm going to make them pay for what they've done for our humanity. I'm going to make them pay for what they've done to our soul. I'm going to make them pay for what they've done to our spirit. Just crazy nonsense. Over and over and over again. Just the same lines with a different word at the end. So clearly a very troubled, mentally ill young man. So, of course, Trans people are blamed for everything, folks. Trans people, evil, horrible trans people. They're destroying our society. That's 100% of my timeline on Twitter right now. Matt Walsh, every trans person is dangerously delusional. They are all mentally sick, and doctors should be legally barred from affirming their mental illness in any way. Adult or child, everyone knows it. Now innocent children are dying because so many people were too cowardly to speak up. Trying to take away your right to medical care. It's supposed to be between you and your doctor, but no, small government wants to get involved. Now, Matt Walsh decides what medical care you can have. Cat turd. To 24,000 likes, trans violence is becoming an epidemic. It's really not. I mean, white, straight violence. That's most of these mass shootings, but you guys don't ever talk about that because you don't actually give a shit about any of this. Benny Johnson, one thing is very clear. The trans movement is radicalizing the mentally ill into becoming violent terrorists who target children for murder. The pattern is undeniable. I can deny it pretty good, to be honest with you. I don't even think this person was trans, but even if they were, trans people are not doing most of the shootings. Derek Evans, do you think transgenders are a threat to the safety of others? And everybody's like, yes, we have to ban transgenders, evil transgenders, folks. Poor trans people. What are you guys going to do when there are no more trans people to pick on? Who's going to be next? Representative Nancy Mace, do you need more proof pushing transgender ideology on children is causing mental illness? She says to FBI Director Kash Patel. So they'll crack down on any kind of doctors giving help to trans or non-binary kids or anybody, really. It's not just for kids. They say kids, but it's for adults too, folks. It's to erase trans people from our society because they're so scared of them. That's their boogeyman, folks. Libs of TikTok having the greatest day of their life. Libs of TikTok, it's their birthday. Breaking, alleged Minnesota Catholic school shooter has been identified as Robin Westman. Reportedly identified as transgender, his manifesto included pride flag and a gun would kill Trump. He did have a defend equality thing with the gay flag on it, and the kid definitely was queer. But wasn't representing themselves as a female anymore. That's pretty clear. Laura Ingraham from Fox News. The public has a right to know all key information about this deranged killer. If they start burying biographical, political, personal, or medical facts or delaying their release, beware. Of course, she's not asking for the same thing for all these straight white kids that do the vast majority of these crimes because it's always a double standard. Charlie Kirk posted, he posted a trans flag and killed Donald Trump. So that's how we know they were trans. That's how we know trans people are evil. And wokeness loved it. Breaking, Minnesota Catholic school gunman is trans. Say kill Trump. Like I said, this is 100% dominating my main timeline. Curated by Elon Musk right now. Will Chamberlain, hormone therapy is creating child-murdering domestic terrorists and should be banned nationwide. And man, the crackdown on trans people from this is just horrible. You could not have done something to hurt trans people more if you were trying to do it on purpose, which maybe they were. And then a lot of people were spreading this meme, this comment, which is not the own you think it is, the right-wingers are saying. I know more about Robin Westman in 13 minutes than I know about Thomas Crooks in 13 months. Wonder why? Yeah, obviously the reason is because they're both conservatives who hated Trump, probably. But this guy was definitely a conservative who hated Trump, and they don't want you to know that. They don't want to fucking talk about it. They also don't really talk about the fact that Trump probably wasn't shot to begin with. His injury that happened was probably because he collided with one of his secret security. But anyway, that's why. Because all the right-wing accounts that have been calling it out, neither has the media. And the governor of Minnesota once again, the mayor of Minneapolis once again coming out and saying, hey, all of you people spreading hatred towards trans people, fucking quit it, okay? This is not the time to scapegoat trans people for this horrible crime because it only makes things worse.
Look, we need to be doing more than talking. It can't just be words. There needs to be action. And when we have seen school shooting after school shooting, when we have seen churches get shot up by horrible actors, I think the impetus has to be on all of us as leaders to do a whole lot more, to recognize that we've got more guns in this country than we have people. And it's on all of us to recognize the truth and the reality that we can't just say that this shouldn't happen again and then allow it to happen again and again beyond that. It's on all of us. And I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community.
Yep, 100%.
Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids. Kids died today. This needs to be about them. This needs to be wrapping our arms around these families with every bit of love that we can possibly show. And I know that our Minneapolis family and well beyond is prepared to do exactly that. And so my message...
So refreshing to hear a competent leader that seems to possess empathy.
...to everyone out there is, again, these families are experiencing some acute pain right now. But don't just think of these as somebody else's kids. Think of your...
So yeah, instead of thinking of the kids or how to protect the kids in the future, of course, they're spreading fear and hatred towards trans people. And they're mad about it too. Greg Price, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, anybody using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community has lost their sense of common humanity. Are you freaking kidding me? He's dead right. You guys are evil as shit. But shockingly, folks, there was one very common sense take, more or less, that I wasn't expecting. And that came from Fox News, of all places. Trey Gowdy, Mr. Pinhead himself.
Our system is reactive. Something bad happens, we react to it. And what people are crying for now is, how can we prevent this? How can we stop it? And the only way to stop it is to identify the shooter ahead of time or keep the weapons out of their hands.
Right.
And so we're going to have a conversation of freedom versus protecting children.
Right. Red flag laws. We already have red flag laws in a lot of places, but the sheriffs there, the police, refuse to even enforce them. And those laws simply state that when we recognize somebody is mentally ill, we take their guns away from them. That's the minimum we could do. Or if we recognize that they're mentally ill, we don't allow them to buy new guns. That kid had such a fucking arsenal. It was crazy. All the weapons, all the magazines, all the bullets he had. It had to be tens of thousands of dollars. Crazy expenditure. Somebody had to have known what the fuck was going on.
I mean, how many school shootings does it take before we're going to have a conversation
I agree with
about
Trey.
Keeping firearms out? It's always a young white male. Almost always.
Always, yes.
I mean, did anyone this morning think, I wonder if that was a female? Did any of y'all think that? I mean, there's been one school shooting involving a female.
Was it
One. Yeah, Tennessee. But other than that, it is usually young white males.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Fox News talking sense. Maybe they'll get through to the boomers, but I doubt it. I doubt anything will ever be changed because, as always, we're the fakest people on the goddamn earth. And that is my school shooter coverage for this week. There'll be another one next week, I guarantee you. Every week's the same exact shit. I'm sure they'll find a way to blame trans people for the next one as well. Trey, going to the ban from Fox News. I know, right? Fired immediately, Trey. Because cops are scared. Yeah, cops are scared to take people's guns away from them. They're not there to protect the community. They're there to protect the rich and the rich's property. And all right, folks, we're along. Time for some Chud Classic. Boom goes the dynamite. And folks, prepare to be shocked. Apparently, Donald Trump's name is in the Jeffrey Epstein files, and they were redacted by the FBI. What? What? Yeah, of course, we already knew this. The FBI has removed Donald Trump's name along with those of other prominent public figures from Jeffrey Epstein files. 3 sources familiar with the matter told Bloomberg J. Leopard. Internal directives issued about the 1,000 FBI agents instructed to flag any mention of Trump's during a review of nearly 100,000 pages of files in March. Sources familiar with the matter told Bloomberg. Of course, I reported this before, but they're reporting it again now. This is from today. The U.S. Department of Justice announced that the review revealed no client list or evidence linking Trump to criminal activity, despite his name appearing in Epstein address book and travel logs. Why don't just release the whole thing? If they're having to redact his name, why not just release the whole goddamn thing? Wouldn't that prove him innocent? But here's the spin they have on it now, folks. GOP representative caught on hot mic saying that Trump is in the Epstein files. But it's okay, folks. Yes, Trump is all in the Epstein files, but he's actually the hero of the files.
I want to just ask my question, which was, party unity, the Epstein files. I mean, do you think Trump's in there?
Yeah, I'm sure he's in there. Yeah. Because he's the one that was telling the FBI about it. He's the one that
that's right. He was in there. He was telling the FBI about him.
kicked the guy out of Mar-a-Lago and then called the FBI.
That's right. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and called the FBI. Then, if that's true, release the files. If that's what happened, why would he not demand the files would be released? Why would he not be like, yeah, I knew Jeffrey Epstein. I knew that motherfucker was a pedo, and I'm the one that got him busted. Hey, I'm the one that got him arrested. I went to the fucking FBI and hear all the files. Why would he not release that if that were fucking true? Because it's not fucking true, and you know it's not. That's how they're trying to spin this shit. It's so stupid and insulting to any thinking person. Meanwhile, even Joe Rogan calling bullshit a little bit, although it's meaningless, of course. He's going to have Trump on his show next week again, suck that dick and not hold him accountable. And you had Trump on, and while he was on saying all this bullshit, you didn't hold him accountable. But you're super brave now that he's not around to say shit like this, Joe.
So I agree with all of that. I'm just saying, like, once you've made these statements and your administration is in.
Answer.
No, I remember. It was one of the most interesting parts of your podcast with him was, like, when you asked him about that, it was like he really didn't have anything to back it up.
If that was you or if that was me, I mean, if there was some reason why I knew that they did something and I could give you all the facts, I would have that ready for anybody. Because
then why did you bust him about that? Why did you let him use your platform to spread lies and disinformation and do no pushback whatsoever? Don't you know how that makes you responsible for helping him get elected? Which you did. You fucking endorsed him, right? And next week, he'll be right back at the UFC, and Trump will be out there, and he'll be, just like he did last time, shaking Trump's hand and bowing and scrimping and just smiling ear to ear because you're a big, giant fucking pussy.
For 4 fucking years, they've been telling him he's crazy for questioning the election.
Yeah.
So after 4 years, I'd have a fucking tight 10 minutes on the election where I could just rattle off at you and rock your world with it. Like, these are the facts, Jack, that you were robbed in 2020.
Yeah, well, you had your opportunity, but you did nothing, motherfucker, did you? Pathetic. All these big alpha manly men, they're all fucking cucks. They're all fucking pussies. They're all fucking betas. And, if it happens this year, I'll buy everyone a Steam gift card. Come on! Looking bad. Look how bad that looks, y'all. Looking worse every goddamn day. Grim Reaper, you have one job. Come on, please. All whammies, no big money. Come and get it. And meanwhile, in martial law, Trump ordered Pete Kegsbreath to form National Guard unit in each state to combat protest. Oh, goody. They'll have them ready to roll out if anybody decides to stand up against the orange goof and fight back against this dictatorship. Can't have that. Gotta have the military put you down. Order also calls for the creation of an online vigilante portal to be deputized for the purpose. Yay! All the rednecks around here can go get fake badges and go around and harass anybody they want to. They're not only making secret police and not only militarizing our police, they're gonna have slack-jawed yokels run around and shoot us and round us up, I guess. That sounds great. And then in concentration camp news, I told you guys on the last show about how Box of Wine Judge Janine is trying so hard to make an example out of anyone who dares stand up to the jackbooted thugs, the secret police who are rounding people up and disappearing them. And so this woman was filming the secret police as they rounded people up, and they didn't want her to, so they went to arrest her. And while they were arresting her, one of the FBI agents got a scratch on their hand. So Janine went to the Grand jury 3 different times to try to get an indictment to send her to jail for 8 years. 8 years for a scratch on the FBI agent's hand. And the grand jury refused to indict her because they lacked the evidence. But that's how desperate they are to make examples out of people. Well, now she's trying to get the sandwich thrower. Remember the guy that threw the Subway sandwich at the cop? She's trying to get him an 8-year sentence. But, folks, she literally cannot get a ham sandwich indicted. It is the opposite of the old saying because the grand jury refused to indict the DC hokey hero. Hilarious. Not sending this motherfucker to jail for 9 or 10 years for throwing a fucking sandwich, you bootlickers. But they'll probably try to get it again and again and again. How is it legal they can do multiple bites of the apple like that? It seems like they shouldn't be able to do that. It seems like there should be double jeopardy for grand juries, just like it is for a regular trial. But I guess they get going back over and over and over and over and over and over and over again 1,000,000 times until they get the verdict they want. That seems fucky to me. But that's authoritarianism for you folks. They want you to know who rules you. They want you to know even the most minor infraction. Lock you up, throw away the key. Meanwhile, in the dystopia in which we find ourselves, Trump administration to interview neighbors of citizenship applications to seek signs of anti-American beliefs. So basically, anybody that wants to become a citizen, they're going to go interview your neighbors. 100% of this is to see if your neighbors out you for being anti-Trump, to make sure that they don't make citizens out of anybody who doesn't love the orange goof. That's all this is about, folks. That's about the dictator having nobody oppose him, making sure that Democrats don't have anybody that can vote for their side. Everybody that gets made a citizen is a Republican. That's all that's so fucking about. But what scary times, gonna go to your neighbors and ask them to fucking rat you out before you can become a citizen. You better hope you don't have a bunch of fucking redneck neighbors. Meanwhile, this is the level of evil we've reached in this country. New Department of Homeland Security rule bans aid groups from feeding migrants. You're not allowed to feed the hungry anymore in this country, folks. Yay, greatness! Here's the Christian nation of America. The Department of Homeland Security is now barring states from volunteer groups that receive government funds from helping undocumented immigrants. According to a Washington Post analysis of updated guidelines and interviews with female employees, the new rules also require groups to cooperate with immigration officials and enforce operations. So not only can you not feed immigrants, you have to out them. You have to rat them fucking out to the government, y'all. Because this is fascism. This is dystopia. This is Trump's America. And these are the type of people encouraged by this new America we live in, folks. The worst among us, the lowest of the low, the shallow end of the gene pool, but they have to feel superior to somebody. So how do they feel superior? When they know that they're, dumpy, fat, stupid. They know they got nothing going for them. How do they make themselves feel better about themselves and superior to somebody else? Well, at least I'm white. At least I'm white. You guys are brown. That makes me better. So, hey, let me harass you and threaten to call ICE to round you up.
Take your picture. I've already got yours.
This guy's mad because they were speaking Spanish, basically. Thing says 8/23/25 at a Goleta Target lot. This man was harassing multiple people for not speaking English, and his remarks kept getting worse and worse. He did, in fact, call ICE and had the phone on speaker. Please be cautious of this man. Look at this.
Take your picture. I've already got yours.
This fucking abject loser.
I'm calling ICE.
Cretin.
Bye.
But this is Trump's America.
You see that?
These are people that worship Trump.
Good.
All right.
This is my country.
Immigration phone number.
Wow. I'm so sorry. Come in. We were just having issues unlocking.
Well, you got a big issue now, lady, because I ain't gonna let it go.
Yeah, lady. I ain't gonna let it go.
I'm gonna ask them to come down here.
Come get these brown people, Ash. I'm white. I'm better than you guys. Just fucking trash country. Trash humans. Garbage as far as the eye can see. And let's check in with the economy and see how that's going. Trump just implemented 50% tariffs on India, and apparently that's kicked in, folks. So hope you like Indian food. Hope you weren't getting that from India, because yay, more taxes. President Trump on Wednesday followed through on his threat to impose a 50% tariff on nearly all goods arriving from India. And yes, if you're just tuning in for the first time ever, tariffs are a tax that are paid by the American people, mostly the poor and the middle class. Taxes to death, daddy. That's what we deserve. Meanwhile, orange juice shipments not doing good in Canada. Prices are skyrocketing here in America, and of course, Canadians are boycotting all our products. U.S. orange juice shipments plummet as Canadians find Florida OJ hard to swallow. I don't blame them. I can't afford to drink it myself, but why would anybody want to support this country at this point, folks? A fascist nation. The quicker we collapse, the better it is for the whole fucking world, and then the quicker we can rebuild something that's actually better for the rest of the world. So they're rooting against us, just like many of us are rooting for the hurried collapse so we can rise from it. And I don't understand this mentality, to be honest with you, but I see this all over my social media too. Texas just became the 7th American state to officially ban lab-grown meat, joining Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Montana, Nebraska, and Indiana. And this person says every state needs to ban lab-grown meat. Yay, freedom! The more shit we ban, the freer we are. I mean, if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it. Why do you have the right to tell someone else what they can fucking buy? It's literally like if they can't taste the suffering, they don't want to eat it, and they want to force you not to be able to eat it either. I'm a vegetarian now, and I'm doing pretty good on it, but I might consider eating a little small amount of meat if it was lab-grown. Also, competition is good. It would bring the prices of meat down, and now they've taken your steaks. The conservatives said the Democrats were going to take your meat, but they took it, and now steaks are only for the rich. Basically, the only people that can afford it. So why would we not want competition to bring meat prices down so you guys can actually afford to eat it again? No, fuck yourself every day. Fuck yourself. Whatever you can do to shoot yourself in the balls, that's what conservatives do. But unfortunately, they're shooting the rest of us in the balls too. And it's hard to feel sorry for some of these people. Mom with disabled son on Medicare voted for Trump to cut Medicare. Trump cut Medicare. The rest writes itself. They deleted it. But anyway, I feel sorry for your kid, but you love Trump more than you loved your own kid. You hated others more than you loved your own kid, and now you've sealed your child's fate. And yes, I feel sorry for your kid, but I don't feel sorry for fucking you, morons. And then in the Chud Watch section, this actually should be in the Beyond Parody section, but we'll put it in the Chud Watch section. So, Ron DeSantis really hates gay people. And they had the Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida, and as a remembrance of them, sometimes they go out on crosswalks and they paint the crosswalks in trans and gay colors to celebrate their lives and to bring awareness to it. But hell no. Mr. Kills Woke Dead got a sachet over there and make sure you don't paint rainbows on the crosswalks. So they're trying to paint over all the rainbow crosswalks everywhere, calling it DEI. But he's trying to pretend like it's not just against gays. So what they've done now is they're spending millions of dollars to repaint crosswalks from bicyclists that are painted green. The green color actually helps keep bicyclists safer, makes it more obvious, makes them easier seen, but can't have that. So Seminole County is repainting some of its crosswalks back to black and white after spending millions to paint them green. The county had originally painted more than 130 crosswalks green using revenue from a penny sales tax to increase visibility for drivers and pedestrians. However, recent federal rules require these crosswalks revert black and white, prompting the county to repaint them. Yep. Can't have any safety, folks, because trans people or some shit. So fuck all that money you just spent. Plenty of money to waste when it comes to bullshit like that. Where you at, Deutsch? Meanwhile, also should be in the Beyond Parody section. These people, there is no bottom they won't find. There is no low they won't sink. No moral, no integrity whatsoever. So this is a former reality show, I want to say contestants. Secretary Sean Duffy taking credit for some shit he voted against, because this is what they always do. So basically Amtrak, it started under President Obama, and then it was mostly funded under Biden. Ordered a bunch of new trains to update their national train service. Sean Duffy literally voted against it. Implemented by Obama and Biden, so of course he takes credit for it, and he gives Trump the credit for it. Watch this shit.
So first off, it's about 12 years in the making. So just if you look down, this is beautiful. It's brand new. It's going to be a way different traveling experience for those who want to take the Acela usually between D.C., New York, but also up to Boston. Again, we're gonna have more trains. 5 are rolling out right now. In the next year, we're gonna roll out 28, replacing the 15 old trains, and we're gonna have better pricing for consumers, but also better profit for Amtrak. We want to make sure federal dollars have to stop going to Amtrak. They can be self-sustainable, and these trains are part of that. And again, a lot of people don't want to take the old Acela because it was showing its age. This is beautiful. This is new, and we're going to make Union Station safer as well. The experience, top to bottom, is going to be way better and way safer. So,
yay! Donald Trump did this thing that we voted against, and yes, he says, announcing the next generation Acela. These are brand new, beautiful trains delivered by US DOT and Amtrak. They will increase reliability, lower ticket costs, improve Amtrak profitability. This is all part of POTUS' vision to make travel great again. Had nothing to do with them. You voted against it, but always take credit for shit you had nothing to do with. That's conservatism 101, baby. I guess it works. Meanwhile, they just got a new CDC director, the Center for Disease Control. But I guess she wasn't crazy enough for them folks, so even though they just put her in there, she's already out. Apparently, she would not go along with some of their crazy ideas. Was hearing this second and third hand, but it now appears true. Susan Moranis is out at CDC weeks into the job. Rumor mill is it has to do with the pediatric vaccine schedule, so I guess she's going against Captain Brainworms, who runs our healthcare. So she's gone. And now, right along with her, a lot of the very, very educated, experienced experts at the CDC have also resigned. At least 3 top officials at the CDC submitted their resignations on Wednesday, saying the recent changes and leadership at their agency are preventing them from fulfilling their duties as public health authorities. So, yay, America! All the scientists are resigning. They're all sounding the alarm bell. The inmates have taken over the asylum, and they gonna kill us all. But whatever, America. That's what you voted for. You voted for suicide. So die. Die, die, die. Meanwhile, the GOP is investigating Wikipedia over allegations of organized bias. As we all know, facts have a left-wing bias. They always have. And for years and years and years, conservatives have been railing against Wikipedia because Wikipedia has the nerve to tell the truth about their policies, about the positions, about the things they've done. And they can't have that. So this is just another part of Donald Trump's crackdown on the media, crackdown on the truth, and the assurance that nothing gets spread but right-wing talking points. They're set to threaten Wikipedia, bully them, get them to bow down so they can, right in front of our eyes, retcon our history, rewrite our past, and remove facts from our ability to review them. Another day inning in the Y for America. And was this the last one for Chud Watch? Yes, last one for Chud Watch. Worst fucking timeline, folks. Even the New York Post using Zoran Mamdani's bench press to try to shit on him. But who gives a fucking shit? New York Post. Zoran Mamdani fails at bench press while trying to show off at Men's Day in Brooklyn. Like, holy shit, folks. If you care about this in any way whatsoever, you're not fit to fucking vote. The only thing that matters is platforms and positions and how they're going to affect your life. I don't give a shit what it can live. It's so stupid. But it is America. So what the fuck are you going to do? And that is my Chud Watch for this evening, folks. And all right, hour into the show, we got 2 religious bullshits, 3 beyond parodies, and that's it. The show will be over. So if you like tonight's show, reward it with some super chats or PayPal. But moving on, let's get it over with real quick, folks. It's religious bullshit. Religious bullshit, religious bullshit, religious bullshit. It's time for religious bullshit. It is time for religious bullshit. And folks, you're never going to guess what this faith-healing megachurch leader did. 43-year-old pastor was arrested in Durham Wednesday after a federal indictment accused him of forcing recruits into nonstop labor, denying sleep, food, or freedom while they collected millions of dollars in donations that he spent on luxury cars and boats. The Justice Department report Wednesday, federal agents in Durham arrested David Taylor, who calls himself apostle and Jesus' best friend, and also claimed to have a regular face-to-face encounters with God. Hey, I'm sort of half of folks. This new drug 5C. Not really God, though. I mean, I guess it's the global consciousness, the universal consciousness. Not just the globe. It's not just humans. It's all the consciousness that exists across all spectrums of all the multiverse. And that includes human beings, but also sentient animals, aliens, everything. It's a hell of a drug, y'all. Anyway, Taylor led Kingdom of God Global Church and set up 9 call centers in Michigan, Missouri, Florida, and Texas to raise money through donations, according to the indictment. So, yes, the worst of us. That's who the world rewards over and over again. Glad to say they busted this guy. For every one they catch, there's 10 they don't. Very lucrative. And last but not least, folks, they are trying so hard to pretend Donald Trump is a Christian. But the way they describe this is the most immoral, nightmarish ideology that I can imagine. Let me read it and then I'll explain it to you. Franklin Graham says, President Donald Trump brought up the topic of heaven on Fox News yesterday morning. And I'm glad he did, because many people struggle with the question of how we can get there. We do not get into heaven by good works. Really? Donald Trump says that he wants to get to heaven by saving people's lives. And Franklin Graham is basically saying, don't even try that, Donald Trump. That is not an effective way to get into heaven. Here's how you get into heaven. Not by our own good works, but by the perfect work of God's Son, Jesus Christ. When he came to earth, took our sins to the cross, shed his blood, died, was buried, and God raised him to life on the 3rd day. We all have the promise of eternal life if we repent our sins, trust in him by faith, and make him the Lord of our lives. That's how one gets into heaven, not by our good works, but by him. So literally, he's telling people, you don't have to be a decent person. In fact, being a decent person doesn't even fucking help you. You can be the biggest piece of fucking shit you want to be and still get into heaven. All you got to do is deathbed confession. Just believe in this imaginary motherfucker before you die, and boom, no matter what you did, straight into paradise. And holy shit, is that evil. But that's exactly how they justify their evil, how they justify their ripping off their flock, their congregants. Just horrible. It's a horrible ideology, folks, and that's why it takes religion to do almost every bad thing imaginable. Sometimes atheists do bad things, but usually it's the religious, and that's how they justify it. And that is my religious bullshit for this evening, folks. I want my sins back. Hey, if you don't sin, Jesus died for nothing. So sin away, motherfuckers. Get to it. And all right, last week, folks. Gonna finish you guys off with a happy ending. Prepare your Uranus. It's beyond parody. And first off, on tonight's Beyond Parody, steroid Guido Chris Cuomo is doing his best to retcon his past. He now knows that the best way to make money is to be an anti-woke right-wing dickhead. I'm shitting on the left from the left. It's the same old tired grift that they all fucking do. He knows that's where the money's at, and he's mad because New York City didn't vote for his brother. They have a legacy, y'all. They're supposed to rule you, so he's doing everything he can to do his why I left the left, do his right-wing turn. Only, unfortunately for him, there are receipts and videos of when he used to pretend to be on the left, and now he's trying to pretend like he was never on the left. He's trying to pretend like, hey, I was never pro-vaccine. I never shit on the people who were anti-vaccine, the people taking ivermectin. I always supported them, and I always hated the left and spoke out against these evil leftists who made fun of them for taking the horse paste. I was always one of you guys. So he's talking to this other right-winger, and this other right-winger is calling him out and saying, bullshit, motherfucker. We have the receipts, and they play it right to his fucking face.
There was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin.
Okay, first off, we were saying don't take ivermectin in place of the vaccine, because ivermectin is not proven to help with COVID-19 at all. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. Ivermectin is for worms. It's a dewormer. You can take it. It's probably safe. You might have less fucking worms. We don't give a shit. But do not take it in place of the vaccine because it is not as safe and effective as the vaccine. That's what we said, motherfucker. Anyway, get it right.
There was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like that.
You did it.
Yeah, I don't like that people told the truth about Joe Rogan. He was misleading people and get people fucking killed. I don't like honesty and fairness. I hated that.
I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like
You
that.
did it.
No.
Yes, you did.
Find the clips.
Find the clips.
Dude, find the clips. You shamed Joe Rogan.
Find the
You
clips.
said he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it.
No.
I'll go find
First
the
of all,
clip.
you just saw the clips.
I watched
I'm
it.
not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
No. The
here's
clip I'm
point.
talking about wasn't on there, and
Here-
it's absolutely
look, we
there.
were
Here, do we have it? Hold on. Let's play the clip.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh my God. What person? You know, you talk about cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer, really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's what it is.
Shame them. They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now. Chris, you can't apologize.
Holy shit. Of course, he can't admit it, folks. They just played it right to your fucking face. You were wrong. You might have forgot that you said that. But you used to be reasonable, and now you're not being reasonable anymore. And he's like, no, I was always unreasonable. Who you going to believe me in your own eyes? Oh, the motherfucker. But of course, conservatism 101, never take responsibility for anything and never own up to anything. Meanwhile, folks, remember when Kristi Noem went out there because Donald Trump specifically told her to paint the wall black? Because black is going to make that wall super hot. If you touch it, it burns your skin. He even told her specifically the type of paint to buy, which she said that she bought that specific type of paint. Going to spend hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars repainting this whole thing because Donald Trump is a genius who thinks for some reason the people that are climbing the wall climb during the daytime. The vast majority of them obviously coming over at night when it's less likely they're going to get caught by Border Patrol. Duh. Here's the crazy part. They also only painted the American side, so that makes sense. They painted to keep us in, I guess. And they painted the north side, the side that doesn't get the sun on it every day. But anyway, to make this fucking even worse, they went out and they tested them with thermal thermometers, and they found that the black painted sides are actually cooler. Cooler. They lowered the temperature and made it easier to climb because they are as feckless and stupid as humanly goddamn possible. Instagram user Gabe Trevino, 30, conducted a temperature test of paint and non-painted sections of the border wall using an infrared thermometer and found the black section to be more than 10 degrees cooler than the non-painted section. Just holy fucking shit. Here's another guy. I watched this video. He did the same thing and found that it was 1 degree cooler on the black side. So as dumb as you could possibly imagine, what a fucking joke. What a clown show every day. It's beyond parody. And then one more on Beyond Parody, folks. Shout out to Bill Burr, who I did not realize played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What can't this man do? This says Steelers part ways with punter Cameron Johnston versus Rap Sheet. And what? That's Bill Burr. How was that not Bill Burr? Man, Bill Burr's dad must have got the fuck around. First Billy Corrigan, and now this. That dude was a pussy hound. I know that shit. And looking good, Bill Burr. Jacked. Jack Bill. And all right, that's my show, folks. We're going to read the Super Chats, going to read the PayPals. But if you bail out, do me a favor. Hit the like button. But most importantly, look at the description of this video. It has my Patreon account. Please consider signing up to my Patreon account, throwing me a couple bucks so I don't go out of business and helping me out. I would very much appreciate it. And also, I'm building a big after party for you guys on Friday. After party is the show after the show. It's less depressing than this show. I'm trying to do it twice a week for my patrons. So go get your ticket. Sign up to my Patreon. I appreciate you. And then, I'm on the wrong page here. I need to be on this page. My buddy AJ, who is the TV show producer, made me this banner at top. If you use your phone and you take a picture of this QR code at top, it goes to my Tales of Woke, which is mine. Tales of Woke is mine. It says so it's mine. I got to change that, but that does work. That's mine. And I got some donations last night. I really appreciate it. Wanted to read them right now. One of them was my buddy Jeff, my real life friend Jeff. E.S. McKeag Scotty sent me $26. Very generous, and said, did you say anything? Felt guilty about falling asleep, then missing the kiddies. Hey, completely forgiven. If you give me money, I am a slut. Next one, on my PayPal. PayPal takes less than YouTube too, so it's a great way to direct tip the show. Janelle Fison sent me $12 and says, "The greatest show on earth, fuck yeah it is, and thank you for supporting it. You rock, Janelle." And then, next up from PayPal. PayPal loads a lot slower, so come on, motherfucker. John Hopkins, hey, like the hospital, sent me $13 and says, "Keep it up, Dusty, best show on the net." Fuck yeah, you have great taste, John. I appreciate you. You rock, motherfucker. And then, come on. Transit Coach and Parts, I don't even know, sent me $17 and says, "Give me 30 minutes to masturbate and I'll spend 27 minutes finding the perfect video." Hell yeah! Hey, take all the time you need. You don't want to rush perfection there. Whack it if you got it. And then there's more. Let's check out the more. Where's the rest of that motherfucking shit? Great television. Where the fuck? Where does it drop down? I want to see the whole. I want to see. Oh, a few more. Okay, there we go. A few more. Fuck yeah. Drop down. No, that's not right. Fuck that. God damn it. Fucking PayPal. Can't figure out how it works like an old goddamn boomer. I want to view all my shit for this month. Oh, view activity. There we go. Boom. Ha ha. Figured it out. Can't stop me. Jeff Moore. $20 from Jeff Moore. Fuck yeah, Jeff. Love you, Jeff. My real life buddy, Jeff Moore. Says goods and services. I guess I owe you some services later, Jeff. Thank you for the $20. And William Wisenet sent me $10. Thank you, William. Appreciate that. V Barbosa sent me 20. Thank you, V Barbosa. You fucking rock. Love you guys and appreciate you. And thank you for everybody who uses the QR code at the top. It's new. We're trying it out. Can we see Miss Petty again? She looked so cute last time. All right. I will bathe her and I'll bring her on the show in the future. Just for you. Thank you, V Barbosa. And all right, let's read the super chats. Oh, we did great tonight. I guess you guys really love my drug story. BBC, fuck yeah! I talked about not wanting to be submissive to any man on my one of my short videos, and somebody posted, "What about BBC? You're submissive to him." Hey, shut the fuck up! Do you not call me out for being submissive to BBC? Will not have it. Love you, BBC. Appreciate you. And one membership. Fuck yeah from Jason Aspie. If you got it, please give Jason your love. Rebecca Poise. Woo, woo. Another day, another horror in this dystopian reality. On that note, grateful for your work and the community, and we're grateful for you, Rebecca. How you doing? How's the job hunt going? Are you looking for that job at all? Yeah, either way, I'm glad maybe you can show up live to the show and hang out with the greatest community on all of YouTube. So love you and good to have you, Rebecca. Stabbing Kitten. Thanks for responding to my email. I know I must have been annoying, but I appreciate the personal touch. Hey, I do what I can do. I try to talk to you guys when I can, the best I can. Here's the super chat. You promised it. $15, Stabbing Cat. Appreciate you. Jerry Ann Smart. $63.98, $5. More kitty paws. My cat Nacho. Let's watch them. All right, well, we only have this one. And Cece. Has Cece been slut in the background? I haven't been paying attention, but she's horny as fuck, y'all. Rubbing her cooch all over things. I'm sure she'll be up in a minute. And Carrie to win. $500. Woo! Goddamn, I said, woo! Gotta read you sexy as fuck. God damn it crashed. No! I was about to read you sexy. Out of memory, I know. Don't even have memory for your awesomeness there. That's how fucking awesome you are. All right, let's try it again. Now it disappeared. What the fuck? All right, I'll just read over here. Carry to win says, the show must survive. Love you, Dusty. I am suspended for a few more days. Go rip on Nancy Mace for me. Trans rights. Long live the Daily Dusty and trans rights. Fuck yeah, Carry to win. You rock. That's the biggest donation I've had in this year maybe. In total. So that fucking rocks, everybody. If you're not giving love to Carrie, do so immediately. And thank you, Carrie. That is amazing. Holy shit. Made my day. Appreciate you. And Carolyn McMickle, $50. That's also very generous. Missed you. Thank you for your story. Hey, appreciate you, Carolyn. Thank you for your generosity. You guys are so generous tonight. Really hooked me up tonight. That's a great Wednesday. Fuck yeah. I'm about to do drugs more often. Urban Moss, $50. That's a really beautiful experience. You were inside the egg. Hope you can go back. Yeah, maybe next time I won't be as surprised. Maybe next time I know what to expect a little more. And it was it was kind of stressful though, because I did feel like the universe was watching me and I was doing a poor job of explaining myself. I felt stupid. But the universe wasn't really judging me though. But there was a lot of beauty in it, looking at little Baby Yoda, and of course this little motherfucker, Pretty Boy, was laying next to him, and he was like out. He was like laid over. He was all out, looking so fucking happy, and I was just like sharing them with the universe too. It was pretty cool. And then as it started coming down, I was like, I wonder if I can work on this. Actually, the first thing I did was I went and I researched the guy that sent it to me, because it does make you paranoid. I was like, I bet this guy's a cop. I bet he's a fucking cop. I bet the cop sent me drugs and now they're going to bust me. And so I started asking AI. I was like, if cops just randomly send you drugs in the mail and they bust you, that's not legal, is it? And AI was like, no, I don't think they can get away with that. And then I researched the guy, but it turns out like I'm the only person he follows, and I'm the only person he's messaged, and he just created his account this month. So I was like, it's a cop, I didn't destroy the evidence immediately. But then I calmed down. I realized, no, that's entrapment. If he did that, that's entrapment. And we talked. He's a really cool guy. So I appreciate it. You know who you are. Thank you for the experience. And thank you, Mosque. You rock. Jason asked me one ticket. Fuck yeah. If you got your tickets, please give me your love and show up on Friday's show for the after party. Doing it for the kiddies, doing it all for my baby. Swagger Cat, scritches to you and yours. Love you, Swagger Cat. Have a good one. Jeremy Cagle, $2, 2 and 2. Love you, Jeremy. And Cole James, hey, to see you all, Cole. And as always, toot toot. Big toots to Cole James. Fucking love me some Cole James. And folks, I'm going to be back probably Friday. I'm probably not going to do a show tomorrow. I may move back to the 3 shows a week. I don't know. AJ thinks I should only do 3 shows a week. He thinks that I'll get burned out if I keep doing 5 shows a week and I should focus on the shorts. But I don't know. I'm still killing it, to be honest with you. I'm still putting out shorts. I'm still able to do like 4 or 5 shows a week. So I'm not sure. So if enough happens tomorrow to do a show, I might do a show tomorrow. All I know is you should just check just in fucking case, because you wouldn't want to miss the world's greatest show. Otherwise, I'll see you guys Friday. Go sign up to my Patreon. Help me out. I love the shit out of you guys. I'll see you next time. And all right, let's do a kitty party. We're going to play Deny, Defend, Oppose, since that was recommended on the last show. Requested, not recommended. And I don't have any treats. I got it.
They built a castle out of pain. Paid in blood.
Missed it. You want to bring a horny ass over here?
A system broken. Everyone knows 3 words. Define it. Deny, defend, depose.
Come on, CC. Come on. Come on, get it. Come on. Come on, bitch. Come on, get over here. Get your ass over here.
Denied the cure, denied the care, left to die, but
come on, you can do it. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come and get it, bitch. CC! Horny ass CC!
Margins above human lives.
Only 2 cats in tonight.
Policies written, lives disposed, they stamp it cold.
Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody's super chats.
Depose, deny the claims, defend the lie. Depose the weak, let the strong survive.
All right, I guess I didn't miss anybody. Hopefully not. Love you guys. I will see ya. When I see ya. How's it going? Be good to each other.
Deny, defend, depose. A shot rang out. The streets went still, not just a man, but the system they killed. The crowd didn't mourn, they cheered instead. Not for his death, but for what he'd said.
Carried Win rocks!
Woo! A kingdom built on misery. The people's anger finally rose against the words. Deny, defend, depose. Deny the claims, defend the lie. Depose the weak, let the strong survive. They thought it was power, but the cracks now show. What you reap, you sow. Deny, defend, depose. This ain't revenge, it's the cost of greed. A reckoning born of big needs. You push too hard, you cross that line. The people fight back one life at a time. defend the lie. Depose the weak, let the strong survive. They thought it was power, but the cracks now show. What you reap, you sow. Deny, defend, depose. The streets remember, the pain still flows from the seeds they planted. The anger grows when the system crumbles. Everyone knows it started with deny, defend, depose.
Good night, y'all. Love you.